Got me hot. Yeah. Nah. Got me hot. Yeah.
Sam Smith is the white version of Mary J.
But
Blige.
here's the thing about
miserable.
that, though. Here's the thing about that. I like Sam Smith. Sam Smith sounds good. I don't necessarily. I'm not a fan of his music, but his voice sounds way better than Mary J. Blige.
To me, man, I like some of Mary J's. I probably like 2 or 3 of Mary J's.
What is a dancery? What is that?
I don't know. I thought it was some kind of old 1920s black club or something. I don't know.
You mean a juke joint?
Juke joint. That's what I thought it was.
It's a juke joint, man. It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't need no hateration.
The only song I like by Sam. Yeah, hateration. We don't need no hateration. Holleration. Is that?
I don't know. I don't care because it sucks.
The only song I like by Sam Smith is just Closure. No, not this. What's the name of the song?
Latch.
But that's not even his song.
It's not. But I heard the acoustic version he put on his album, and it was fire.
Whatever. I heard it too. I ain't like it.
I loved it. I like acoustic covers of stuff because, like, especially when it's like literally the singer and a guitar player. There's no
Yeah.
I like it because there's no hiding.
Yeah, and it's clean. It's clean. It's pure. I get that. I heard his. I just didn't like it.
That's fair.
Maybe
Also,
if he was actually playing the guitar. Was he playing it?
I think so.
No.
Did you watch that Alan Stone Tiny Desk?
No. He's been off my radar, man. Because you told me about it, and I never got to it.
Listen, he fell off for me for a solid 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw like I watched that concert and I remembered why I loved him. Like he's so pure.
Now,
pure.
do you have his new album?
I downloaded it and it's pretty. I haven't listened to it all the way yet, just because I've been digesting so much other stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it an honest listen, and like I think it's gonna be good. Like I don't know if it's on the new album or if it's on an older album, but there's the song "Brown Eyed Lover" or "Brown Eyed Girl."
That's new.
I love that song.
That's a great song. That's he released that track like a year before he released the album.
Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say I remember hearing it before the album dropped.
Yeah, it's on the new album. That new album, man, that whole album is good. It's good. It's solid.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take us in. All right, what's up, everybody out there in podcast land? You just listened to us ramble for the first 20 minutes or so. But I am TB on the sax. That is my illustrious, wonderful co-host, Mr.
Really be genius.
God damn it! You keep doing that.
What did I do?
Every time I point to you, you like look down.
I'm not looking.
You have to look.
I'm not looking.
But anyway, this is another installment of The Heck You Want, where it's just 2 regular ass dudes. We kind of just sit around, talk shit about stuff that we see on the internet and music stuff. Because we're both musicians and we love what we do. And we also love finding funny shit on the internet. So anyway, to the first thing, I want to go ahead and get this out the way because I've really been itching to talk about it. J. Cole.
Yeah.
Do you think his lyrics, 1, were directed at No Name, 2, was he wrong in what he said?
Was he wrong? No. So this is my opinion on that. So I'm kind of like on the surface of what happened as far as like I'm not in depth in, I don't know that.
Okay, I'll give you a little context. I'll give you a little context.
Uh-huh.
So apparently on Twitter, there was this thing where No Name was calling people out.
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, right?
And she called out Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for me, everybody else she called out, I get.
Yeah.
J. Cole
Kendrick
is on the front lines at most protests and he's actively doing things with his celebrity to help the fight. And not to shade No Name, because she's doing amazing things as well. She's got her book club. She's got all this other progressive stuff going on. No Name is amazing. I'm not taking that from her. I'm saying in this instance, she was wrong. And
I'm
so
with
what?
you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So
all right. So I'm like this. I'm the same way you are as far as how you feel about this. Because J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar have always rapped about this stuff. They've been at events. They've protested before.
They've donated money, set up charities. Like their track record speaks to the otherwise, right?
Everything. Yes. I don't know what she wants them to do. Like, go back and listen to their albums. I don't know what else you want them to do.
Exactly.
I don't get that.
So like,
just because they didn't like go and throw a brick through a glass window, I'm like, what else you want them to do?
My whole thing is she checked him on checking her for how she spoke to him. And everyone took it as a male-female thing. Fuck no. You have a right to check anyone who approaches you the wrong way that you don't like their tone. Like if I don't like the way you talk to me, I'm gonna say, hey, fix your shit. I'm grown.
And see, the way I took the lyrics of that was J. Cole was being funny. I took it as he was being passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Like he said, what do I know? I'm just a rapper, this and this and this. What do I know? And I'm like,
But here's the thing about J. Cole though. Although he is activist and he's woke, he doesn't want to be placed on that pedestal. He's very vocal about that. He does not want to be the guy that we all look to make decisions or to kind of influence the next move as far as the culture goes. He's like, no, I'm the same as you. I'm out there with you, not in front of you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
no, complete sense.
His rebuttal, like in the song, like he was just like, for me, what I got from the lyrics was he literally is asking for education. And he's not asking you to coddle what you say, but also don't disrespect him when you come at him. Like,
see, and I think that's the only thing we disagree about. I don't think he was doing that. I don't think he was really saying that.
And I don't think he was saying it to her. I think he was saying it as a generalization.
Okay.
Like, I don't think. I also like Twitter. What happened on Twitter previously aside, I don't think that was the intention of that particular section of the song. Like I think it was a generalization that as men and women on either side of the spectrum, we need to realize that we're not each other's enemy. So I get it. You're angry. I understand that. I'm not saying downplay your anger. I'm saying educate me. Don't yell at me. Don't talk at me. Talk to me.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'm with you on that. At first, when I first read it, because I only read it once and I kind of laughed, I thought initially that J. Cole was kind of be funny. Like,
but that's his style though. Like he's cheeky. He's cheeky.
Okay.
No, he's cheeky. He's a cheeky dude. But like, again, I think the overall message was that like we're on the same team and I want to be your ally. But in order, like, it would be the same roles reversed if women were, because I mean the thing is like let's also delve into the deeper issue that like Black women are probably demographic has arguably the hardest road, right? Mm-hmm. Take away the LGBT community, take away Black men. Black women have it the worst because they are expected to do the most but given the least.
Right.
And that's not right. And I think, for me, at least from what I gleaned, and this is my personal opinion, I don't want to speak for everyone, because obviously Twitter has shown that some people do not think this way. But for me, I think the point that J. Cole was trying to get across, and I also don't want to speak for J. Cole either, because I don't know him personally, but I'm just saying, as a fan of the music and what J. Cole has presented of himself, I think this was the general thought he was trying to convey. And that's, please educate me, but don't talk to me like I'm your child.
Yeah. I can see that. I was just thinking J. Cole was just like, yeah,
and again, I don't want to downplay the rage. Like I understand black women being angry. I get it. I'm not taking away from that. But when someone is approaching you trying to be an ally, you don't bite the hand that's trying to help you.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just took that as like J. Cole was saying, oh yeah, like I haven't been saying this for years, you know.
Right. Right. That was also another thing. Like that was funny. And like what was crazy to me is like there was a whole mass movement on Twitter that was like, you know, check J. Cole, cancel J. Cole. And I'm like, this is the same nigga that gave you folding clothes. That whole song, he talks about how all he wants to do is help his significant other. I want to fold clothes. I want to make you feel good. I want to do the right thing. I don't want to do wrong things no more. Like he literally says this stuff.
I don't get it, man.
Like
J. Cole, like I feel like I've never seen his car, but I feel like he drives a 1995 Honda Accord.
Probably.
Like, that's just the type of dude I feel like he is.
You mean the baby boy car? You just call him Jody, Loki.
Yeah, but he's that type of dude that, like, if J. Cole walked past me right now, I know who he was, but half the people wouldn't know who he even was because he's just not out there like that. He doesn't put himself out like that. And he's just cool like that, man. So I just can't get with people who are coming down on J. Cole, man.
I can't
don't
either.
get it.
And like again,
but,
I don't want to downplay the struggle. Like I understand that completely, but again, he's not. I think people. This is what bugged me. People were calling him a misogynist, and I'm like,
I didn't even see how it could be taken that way.
I didn't either. And that was the most infuriating thing about all this, is it was like, No Name, I understand her snapping back. I get that. Because like even if what he's like, whether or not it was meant for her, I could see how she took that, because that was a direct, like it could be interpreted as a direct response to what was said on Twitter previously.
Yeah.
I could see that. No Name's response. He didn't say her name in the song. But
okay,
you know, most diss tracks, they don't do that. So I get that. All right. Fine. How you gonna sit there and call this man a misogynist? How? What about him leads to that?
And here's the thing now in this current climate where, you know, everything's tense, but now you got this movement where people are trying to see who can outrage each other.
Selective Twitter rage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like somebody has to be mad about something. Like,
I'm not going to lie to you. So one of the funniest things I've ever seen has, once again, Wilmington, North Carolina. Woohoo. But the comment section about the Confederate flags and the Confederate statues being taken down are some of the funniest threads I've ever read in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the argument is that, oh, well, you know, it's not about race, it's about heritage. I was like, that was a heritage that literally subjugated another race. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, the Civil War wasn't fought over slavery. It was fought over states' rights to keep slaves.
To own slaves.
You realize that the economy in the South was driven by slavery. It was driven by cotton trade, which was driven by slavery.
Because how else was the cotton going to get whatever produced, or
how else were they going to grow it? How else were they going to harvest it? You know this actually is the perfect lead-in to the next subject. Let's talk about this Florida gator bait situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are white people that are upset that they can't chant gator bait at the games no more. We can't chant gator bait, and it was a part of my childhood, and it don't mean nothing racial. Well, did you know that it is a proven fact that in the late 1800s and early 1900s, and even up on into the 40s, that gator bait was a term to Negro, black, little babies. And you know what they would do with them? They would hang them from trees and use them to catch gators. And you don't see why it's a problem? I get it. I'm not saying that you or even your closest, oldest relatives had anything to do with that. I'm not saying
that's always the argument.
But that's always it wasn't mine.
Nobody you know ever got eaten by a gator. You know, that's always the argument.
Always the argument. But I'm like, okay, I think the only thing out of this whole movement that I don't necessarily agree with is the whole Aunt Jemima thing being taken down. And that's just because the family's okay with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, the family is okay with Aunt Jemima being used.
I'm having conflicting thoughts about just everything changing right now. Everything. Like, Black people been saying this for decades, right? Decades, man. How all of a sudden in the year 2020, when we've been saying this for decades, I mean, we appreciate that you're now listening to us, but is it real?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, performatism is a very real thing, especially in today's climate.
Right.
And that's on both sides of the spectrum. That's on the ally and on the other side. Like, there are those there's been numerous videos floating around of people who literally inflict harm to themselves just to say Black people did it. Like there was this one chick, she gave herself a black eye and then tried to say she got it for wearing a MAGA hat at a BLM protest. And then there was there was another video that literally proved her wrong that floated up 3 days later. I was like, that's what you get. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for the sock outs. Like, somebody roll up to you, say some racist shit, beat the fuck out of them. I'm here for it. But man, did you see the one video where this kid lays this cop the fuck out for pulling his hair? At
the hospital. I think
they were at a hospital or some sort of medical facility, and the kid's actually trying to talk to the cop, and the cop's actively trying to detain him or whatever, and the kid's like, "Yo, chill out, what are we doing?" And then the cop puts his hands in his hair, and the kid was like, "Fuck no," and laid him out with the cleanest straight jab I've ever seen in my life, and went to work.
And then proceeded to whoop
his ass.
Yeah.
I was like, stop letting these motherfuckers who got beat up in high school be cops.
Well, I mean, and just to touch on that subject, man, I'm sure you've seen it just recently here that the 3 cops who were fired because they were recorded saying that they couldn't wait to slaughter some niggers.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? There was another thing that I actually saw this morning, which I was going to save for next week. There was another story that floated, and this was actually from Star News. Star News actually posted this, but not saying that they agree with what the cops were saying, but they posted it as a story, as a headline. And I haven't read the full article yet, but the headline was, 3 officers fired over racial comments, cite reason for comment as not race. They said niggers.
Hey.
They said niggers. That's what they said. They said, I can't wait to go hunt down some niggers.
Hey, and in the comment section on this, also hilarious. Somebody wrote the I guess the department or the town council or whatever, however that stuff works, a letter saying, I can't believe you displayed these guys' private conversation and fired them over their, what they were having a private conversation. You guys fired them.
Here's the thing. Yes, they have a right to privacy, but when
no, they don't. They're in a police car.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That was my point. I was getting to that.
Okay.
So if what they said was truly in private, first of all, they should be fired either way, because you can't be a policeman in a community and feel that way about a huge portion of the community you're supposed to protect. That's not how that works. I'm sorry. I don't care what way you slice it. If you can say the word, if you can say the N word and feel comfortable saying in any way, shape, or form that you can't wait to go hunt some of them down, you don't need to be a fucking cop. I don't that's inexcusable, period. Whether they said it in private or they shouted it from the mountaintops. I don't give a fuck. And I'm glad they released those pictures. Those cops should have to look at every single person that they said that about. They should.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that, George Floyd's the guys that killed him, other than the guy that was actually on his neck, somehow these guys are going to have a possible chance to get their jobs back.
They're appealing, but I think they're going to lose. I mean, that's
they got to.
They have to. There's no, because I mean, even take away the climate. There's no way 3 other officers should have stood around and watched that happen. Fuck, like I mean, if we want to take away the racial aspect, I mean, there's no way an officer, like there's no way 3 other officers should have been standing around as another officer put his hand in someone's neck or put his knee in someone's neck. Period.
And even the who was the guy that actually was on his neck? Derek Chauvin or something like that.
Chauvin, something like that.
Yeah, reports are that he has a chance to somehow still receive his $1 million pension.
He's not getting that. He's not getting that.
But the fact that it's possible.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, that's a policy that they have to protect officers' pensions when something like, not like this happens, but when something that's truly, how do I frame this? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
That they were in the right?
Not necessarily that they were in the right, but like it was the tougher decision out of what, like, given the situation, it was the only way that could have ensured at least somebody survived, right?
Oh, yeah. Like
because I don't ever want to say that taking someone's life is right.
In extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, like that's why those are there. But again, I think your headphones died, or something. I don't know. I can still hear you though. Not now. No. There we go. Now you're back. Oh, you froze. I hear you, but your video's frozen. Hey, there we are.
I'm sick of technology, man.
But yeah, man. So 2 things about that. If they win that appeal, this country is going to burn.
Yeah, it's over.
It's going to burn.
It's over.
It's over. And also, shout out Vince Carter, man. Hell of a career.
Yeah,
retired. He just retired. I was sad.
Greatest in-game dunker of all time in the NBA.
All
greatest
time.
dunker ever in the NBA.
All time.
Fight me.
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you on that.
Now, you still got some old school people that think Jordan's the best dunker ever, and, some of them guys like that. Old school people that's, first thing they ever saw was greatest. The last thing they saw was the greatest thing they ever saw.
Yeah, shut up. That's what I tell those people. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, if those police officers win those appeals,
no, they won't, because
they won't.
It's a wrap, man.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, let's say they do. I mean, literally, Minneapolis is gonna go up in flames. They thought the riots and the protesting was wild before.
Well, they are passing some kind of thing where they're trying. I think they're literally going to defund. Now, I don't know exactly what defund means, but I know they're trying to abolish the police department. They're going to have to try to do something else. Like,
so
maybe they're just going to repurpose them.
That's a really good talk point. So there's a movement going around called defund the police, and I think a lot of people have misconceptions about what that means.
Yeah, people think they're just going to get rid of the police. The police, like, we're just not going to have police.
And I'm not going to say there aren't people who believe that completely abolishing the police is the answer. I am not one of those people. I say defund them. And what that means is, instead of pouring money into weapons and combat training, we pour it into conflict resolution training. and instead of giving them an ass ton of money, we should redistribute that money into community programs that actually benefit the community that the police are serving. Therefore, it reduces crime. You give people something to do, it decreases the chance that they're going to be out there doing something they shouldn't. And not saying that doing something you shouldn't be doing is a reason to lose your life, but that's a lot of the excuses that people try to make.
Yeah.
So if we take that away.
Yeah. And my biggest thing is this, man. A lot of police get caught in situations where somebody is just going crazy. Like somebody is literally having mental issues,
breakdowns.
Right? And they're not equipped to
handle that.
De-escalate the situation. Yeah, to de-escalate the situation, man. And all they know, somebody's walking down the street, swinging his arms, pop, pop, pop. Next thing you know, the dude had he literally had he was bipolar or something, and he didn't have his meds that day.
I didn't want to talk about this, but it's leaning that way. You know which one of these, not that all of them don't break my heart. But the Elijah McCain case.
Dude, let me tell you something.
I saw the reason that one hit me so hard is I saw so many of my friends.
Yeah.
That were just like that. This kid
like
played violence. Extreme introvert. He played violence for kittens. And
I read the story, and I teared up when I actually saw the clip of him walking in his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to see what type of person he was. You got to see his demeanor. His demeanor. I teared up. I cried because I'm like, he weighed 140 pounds.
There was no reason. There was absolutely no reason.
Soft-spoken.
Did you read his last words?
I think it was no. Go ahead.
I'm paraphrasing, but I do know that at one point he was literally saying, "I'm sorry, you're all amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't do that stuff. I'm just trying to go home."
Yeah. He just went to get a soda or something like that, right?
I don't know what he was doing.
He went to the store for his brother or something like that to get a soda
something like that. And I can't read too far into that because again, I see that and I see countless people that I know and it hurts.
And what I don't understand about what happened was when did they start injecting people with things
with ketamine? Yeah, that was crazy.
That was the first I had heard of that.
Yeah. I don't.
He weighed 140
pounds. Sweet kid. This kid literally played violins for kittens at the animal shelter.
Who that you know of or have ever heard of that plays a violin that has any kind of any kind of violent tendencies?
Anyway.
That one hurt, man. I mean, George Floyd hurt too, but just seeing that story, finding out this.
And he was a kid. A kid. He had his whole life ahead of him, and it was snuffed out because some dude felt that he was a threat because he had his mask on, and he also had respiratory issues, which is why he had the mask on.
He was also anemic, and so he got cold relief, and it was in Colorado.
And he said that that's also in his last words. He's clearly saying that, and they snuffed his life out.
So we still got all these people that those cops haven't seen justice yet, right?
Not yet, but so also the crazy thing about it is his case that happened last year.
Yeah.
It happened last year, which is wild that we're at this point halfway through this year and we're just finding out about it.
You're gonna see a lot of this stuff coming back up. A lot of cases are going to be a lot of cold cases. Yeah, reopened and investigated, man. Even here with those 3 cops who got fired.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 90 of their cases got dismissed.
Yeah,
they're gone.
Yeah, so
good.
the stuff needs to stop, but at least something's being done. I mean, like, but it shouldn't be happening.
It shouldn't be happening, but the fact that it is, and now that we're in 2020, and we're in quarantine, and we're forced, like I said this on the last episode, America is forced to take a hard look at itself.
Yeah.
And everyone is forced to take a hard look at themselves. Like we're like as the Black community, we're forced to take a hard look at ourselves and be like, okay, what are we effectively doing to make change?
Yeah.
The non-POC community, they're having to fully understand and realize that this really does happen. Like the shit we've been talking about for years really does happen. And that's I mean, I can't really go too far into it or else I'm gonna get depressed.
Well, no, I mean, you're right, because one of my friends, and I'm not gonna say the name, but I got a phone call during all the protests and the riots, and one of my friends asked me, "Can you please explain to me what's going on? Because I don't know how to feel about this." It's a white friend of mine, really good people, and I don't understand how I feel. I'm feeling two ways. Like the person was saying, I understand, that this shouldn't happen because that was blatant murder. But is this? And this is with George Floyd. But I understand that this was a blatant murder. Yeah, this shouldn't happen. But what's going on with the riots? Why is this happening? And I had to give the person just a short history lesson, because they were being genuine and asking me. They weren't trying to be funny, but because they explained they lived in their own little bubble. As far as they know, everything was cool.
Yeah.
But now
Martin Luther King ended the struggle, and everything was great.
And that was it. That was it. We were civil rights bill was passed, and it's funny you said Martin Luther King. That's where I started. I didn't start back in slavery because everybody knows about slavery, but I started back to 1964 or 1965 when the Civil Rights Act when the bill was passed.
Yep.
And I had to tell them, I was like, you got to understand this. She's like, is it a black and white thing? I'm like, yeah. I said, it's mostly a white male thing. And I'm going to come back around. I'm going to come back around to that. I said, the thing is, you got to understand, okay, you know about slavery and all this stuff and, how black people were treated slave stuff. But you got to understand, 1964, that was 56 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Only 56 years ago.
56 years ago.
And I told him, I was like, people that are over 56 years old. Your parents are over 56 years old. So they lived in a time where it was not illegal to discriminate against black people.
They lived in a time where it was perfectly acceptable to say, take your colored ass to the back.
Yes. And that's all it took. I just had to put it in that perspective. It wasn't long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
And so I said,
like the craziest thing, like your parents were in school like one of the last few years of segregated schools.
Yes.
Like mom and pop.
My mom has seen whites only water fountains and toilets and
like
stuff.
They've seen that stuff. Like,
yeah.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say because I don't think he wants his business out there. But there's
but man,
certain people have a fear of certain things because of what they were used for, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. And but once I got to that part, and I had to tell him, I was like, being that I was only 56 years ago, those people who were in power in government then, those people who were racist then, only 56 years ago, they had kids that they taught to be racist.
Yep.
And just because they made it illegal to discriminate, don't mean people just stop doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like it's illegal to smoke weed, but guess what?
Everybody smokes weed. Yep. It's illegal to go over the speed limit, but everybody
speeds.
And those people had racist kids because they taught them to be racist.
Yep.
So it was illegal to be racist on paper, but all they did was just figure out another way to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get into government power and you get into these home loans where people can't get a home loan because I'm black, or people can't get this job because I'm black. But you never know because it's not illegal
It's
on
not
paper.
illegal
They're
on
not
paper,
saying you
yeah.
can get the job because you're black.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so when I finally put it in that sense, because I like the fact that I didn't have to go way back in the 1700s, you know. Nah, 1964.
1964.
And my friend, they do it. Like, I get it. They got it. They got it. They still feel bad about, you know, what happened, but they got it.
Like the thing I always bring up when people are like, why are people rioting over George Floyd? Da, 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 da. Why? Like these are the people that are like, I don't mind peaceful protests, like, but why are people rioting? Because 3 years ago, when people started peaceful protesting police brutality, no one fucking listened, and then countless other people were murdered, and then George Floyd was the tipping point.
And see,
riots are what happens when people are ignored.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this because this goes back before you were born. The Los Angeles riots. Oh, I had to bring this up. I said, this is why they rioted before this guy got prosecuted or anything. What riots happened in 1992, 90 something like that? I think 1992, 93. Okay. I guess the beating happened in 92. So everybody saw Rodney King get his ass kicked by like 7 cops. 7 cops. He was unarmed. He got his ass kicked, right? So everybody sees it on camera. We all see it. America sees it. We're just like, oh, shit, man, they going down for this. It's good. It's on camera. They get acquitted. LA gets set on fire, right?
Yep.
Same, fast forward to George Floyd.
Same thing.
Same thing. He kills a person on the camera. America sees it. Except for this time, all these cops get off, you're like, nah, we ain't waiting for this. We're not waiting. We gonna fuck shit up now. And we dare you to let them off.
To let them go. Dare you to let them go.
Yeah. So I told them, I'm like, I don't agree with writing. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like it.
But I get it.
There's a such thing as a necessary evil.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't agree with rioting when it's destroying your community. But if you want to go loot a fucking Walmart or a Target or a multi-billion-dollar, go for it. Absolutely.
Target was cool. Target said, hey, we know Black Lives Matter. Yeah. We'll rebuild a Target. We got it. We
burn it. Did you see the video of the lady who's trying to protect the Target in the fucking wheelchair? Did you see that? Okay, so
yes.
That shit was funny to me. I'm like, you're prepared to stand in the way of rioters trying to get up in that bitch, and Target is a $7 billion corporation. And they got insurance. They gonna be all right.
And this lady didn't even need to be in a wheelchair. There's video of her walking, like getting out of her wheelchair and looting.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. Same lady.
Oh, damn.
So as we were being painted as monsters, even though we were writing. And the thing is, people are like, well, why are the black people writing and stuff? And then, black people was like, camera phone, this ain't us, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. The funny
That's Becky over there throwing a brick to that window. That's not me. We're not doing that.
That's Chad.
Yeah.
That's Chad. The funniest shit is like, and it's not funny. It's situationally funny, not ha-ha funny.
Right.
The funniest thing is like, during these protests, you'll see motherfuckers that aren't people of color. You'll see them getting ready to go breaking a window or something, whatever, and then you'll see a crowd of black people like, nah, that's not what we here for.
Did you see the clip of the Crip? There was these two white kids. They were walking downtown LA about to vandalize some stuff, and some Crips ran up on them.
I bet they shit themselves.
Oh yeah, man, because they ran up and said, look, they said, nah, bro, we ain't doing that shit around here.
Nah, they said nah, cuz. They didn't say bruh, they said cuz. Don't disrespect them like that. They said cuz. I was about to say, you ain't about to have some Crips rolling up on the house, bro. Stop playing.
Man, that was one of my favorite videos of the riots.
But all right, I think that's a good place to wrap that one. We're gonna take a step into a lighter note and do a one gotta go. one gotta go, and we're gonna do rock bands because we don't talk about rock music enough, and I don't talk about rock music enough with people because most of my friends are R&B and jazz.
I don't like this list, man.
You don't like the list?
No.
Is it difficult?
It's difficult, man. I don't like this.
All
But
right.
I have one. I do have one.
Okay, well let's do it. Let's do it this way because I'm stealing another thing from Kev on stage, but they do one gotta go a very interesting way. Out of those four, which one is automatically staying? And
I can't do that one either. No, I got one that's going. I have my reasons. I got one that's going.
Okay.
But it's give the list.
I picked a good list. All right.
Yeah,
so
it's a good list.
One's got to go. Incubus, Foo Fighters, Nirvana, or 311. And to all you grunge and purist heads out there, this is just the evolution in which Willie and I listen to rock music. This is not by any way, shape, or form indicative to best of the genre. This is just what we were listening to.
This is greatest rock band ever.
Yeah, this isn't greatest rock band ever. This is as far as what we were listening to. This is the core that we resonated with the most. All right.
So you want me to go?
Yeah.
Nirvana goes.
Ah!
They gotta go.
But wait a minute. You know, one gotta go means all their work has to go, and the people associated with them has to go, which means Dave Grohl has to go.
You can't go because you got him in Foo Fighters. Sorry, that's your fault.
No, but by choosing Nirvana to go, you eliminated the fact that you're keeping Foo Fighters.
Nope.
That's not how this works.
That is how it works. You didn't say you putting extra stuff on it now.
No, that's how one gotta go works. You lose that group's work. If Dave Grohl had not been in Nirvana, there would be no Foo Fighters.
I don't know that.
So fuck you.
I don't know that.
Man.
Nah, man. Nirvana's gotta go.
I'm saying 311.
Nah, okay. Well, you
311's
gotta
out
say
there.
why, right?
311's out of there because, for me, they have Creatures, Amber, and they have 3 tracks that are timeless. Amber, Creatures, and I can't think of the third. The name of the third one is escaping me. But they have 3 tracks. You tell me I can't listen to a Nirvana album again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm cool with it.
I'm
sick of hearing it. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm off.
And then obviously Incubus stays because I
can play all Incubus stuff without fast forwarding, without skipping the track.
Yeah.
I can do the same with the Foo Fighters too.
I think there's only one Incubus track that I'm like, I don't like this.
You know the name of it?
I can't think of it right now, which is probably why I don't like it.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's indicative of the fact that I don't like it. But yeah, man. So that's interesting. You chose Nirvana. Huh, that was not
even though they're like pioneers, I don't care about that shit.
That's not where I expected that to go. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
I expected that segment to last a little bit longer because I thought we were going to debate about this, but it's pretty close. All right.
Nirvana can kick rocks out of that list.
They are going to come for you in the comments.
I don't care. I mean, they weren't even that. I mean, all these other bands literally have better musicians.
Fair.
And better singers.
Fair.
Nirvana just kind of first.
Here's the thing about Nirvana, though. Here's the thing about Nirvana. I don't think anyone was except for Dave Grohl, because Dave Grohl's like a monster in and of his own. But I don't think anyone, especially for me, I didn't like them necessarily for their musicianship or how skilled they were at the instruments. I liked Nirvana because it was authentic. Yeah. That's why I like Nirvana. It's the same reason that I liked or that I still like the Beatles. I don't in any way, shape, or form think that they're the best band ever. However, I like the Beatles. Now people are gonna come for me in the comments.
No, you like the Beatles, right? No,
I like the Beatles.
It's obvious they're not the best musicians.
They're not the best musicians.
Come on, man.
Outside of Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, if we're being totally honest, trash.
He ain't trash, man. He can keep a pocket. It's not trash. I mean, he can't play nothing else but Beatles music, but It's not trash, man.
He is okay at best.
Kurt Cobain is trash at guitar.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. Yes. Dave Grohl was a better guitar player than Kurt Cobain. I think we need to normalize that conversation too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he was.
And also, Dave Grohl was a better writer.
Yeah. See, I only like.
Okay. Let me adjust that. Dave Grohl writes better music and lyrics put together. Like Dave Grohl writes a better entire song.
Yeah.
Cobain writes really good lyrics.
Boy, Pretender, man, that's my shit. By the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
Oh, that song make me speed in my car, man. I will get a ticket.
You know what song I like? Home. I love that song. I like that song. I like that. Home. And it's not as all rah-rah. It's just literally like it literally Dave Grohl just kind of he just sat down and wrote those lyrics, and they're beautiful.
I think I only like maybe 2 or 3 Nirvana songs, and one of them is a Beatles song.
Here's the thing about me and Nirvana. I can't name Nirvana songs because I don't listen to them that much. However, I know Nirvana when I hear it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I know Nirvana when I hear it, and I don't skip it.
I like Teen Spirit. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Come As You Are.
Right. Those are the 2 I can name.
Yeah, and then there's The Man Who Sold the World, which is a Beatles cover.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's not even played like Nirvana music because they did it on MTV Unplugged and they didn't, it's acoustic. So,
you know what's crazy? The beat like when Paul McCartney wrote "Hey Jude," he struck gold. Even at the end where they're just like nah like that. Yeah. I love that song.
That's a good song. That's the only song by the Beatles I like.
That's a great song.
The Beatles are like the only group where somebody remakes their songs and I like it more on a consistent basis. Because normally fair. I'm not a remake or remake person. Type of guy, yeah. But I like other people's versions of their songs way more than I like their versions.
That's fair. This is something that's changed with age for me, I've noticed. As I used to be the same way. I would love remakes. Like, I mean, case in point, Victor Wooten's cover of Norwegian Wood, I loved.
I hate the Beatles version of the song because I heard Victor Wooten's version first.
I heard Victor Wooten's version first, and for the longest time, I didn't like the Beatles version. But I'll tell you what, I listened to it a couple days ago, and I was like,
Well, see, I think I remember when you heard it. So, not the Beatles version, but you heard Norwegian Wood when I was back in the day.
Yeah.
But now you're an adult. The brain has expanded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. I still don't like it.
That's the thing. Like, it's funny how similar our tastes are, but yet so very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Norwegian Wood, and I like their voices. I do. Like, I think there's a for me there's a
suck factor.
Yeah, there's something about it.
I didn't say that. I said suck factor.
Well, I'm saying something. They don't suck. They're not the greatest. I want to go on record saying I don't think the Beatles are the greatest band in history or even one of the greatest bands. I will say they are innovators, but being an innovator doesn't necessarily make you great at the thing you innovated. It just makes you the person.
Because the greatest band that ever lived is Earth, Wind & Fire.
Earth, Wind & Fire. Greatest band ever. Period. Fight me. Find me in the comments. Fucking fight me.
Earth, Wind & Fire is the greatest band of all time.
Fight me. We can fight in the comments. Earth, Wind & Fire's greatest band ever. Come find me. Without a close second either. There is not a close second.
No. No.
Now, as far as my favorite, that's a different thing. If we're talking about
that's different. Yeah.
If we're talking about objectively, Earth, Wind & Fire.
Them boys tough, man.
Them boys tough.
They tough.
They tough. All right. I got one more thing I want to hit. And I don't know if you know too much about this one, but this one is just funny to me. because I see both sides of the fence. But have you heard about this B. Simone thing?
Somewhat.
All
Like,
right.
I'm not.
So basically, B. Simone is an influencer personality.
See that I'm out right there.
Anyway,
Like,
she
I know
makes
she is. I've seen her a while now.
She makes her money being an influencer, which I don't knock that hustle. That's sort of similar to what I'm trying to do anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fair.
So she goes on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she basically talks about she can't have a man who has a regular 9-to-5 job.
Right.
He needs to be an entrepreneur. He needs to understand her lifestyle.
Right.
And that a 9-to-5 job is not enough. I agreed with her. Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Context is key here.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Not shitting on 9-to-5 jobs, because a lot of 9-to-5 jobs pay better than influencer jobs, right?
Or you better get some toilet paper because it sounds like you about to shit on them.
No, I'm not. Like, work your 9-to-5. Like, dude, absolutely. But I know that for me and a certain populace, that whole clock in, clock out thing, that ain't it. I don't want to do that. Not shitting on anyone who does, because there are people who are happy with that, and that's do you. But I'm okay. Maybe I shouldn't say I agree, but I understand, because if saying I agree means that I myself wouldn't be with someone who had a regular 9-to-5, and I would absolutely. But I get where she was coming from in the fact that she wanted to have a partner who understood her lifestyle. I think that's what she meant to say.
Yeah, the problem wasn't what she said.
It was how she said it. It was how she said it. And I get that. I do. But, and on that front for B. Simone, I understand what you're saying. I get it. You want someone who's going to understand that if you're up at 3 a.m. answering emails, you're working, or in my case, if I'm out until 2 a.m., I'm at a gig. Like, that's just what it is. I'm not. You want someone who understands that and doesn't make you feel bad about it.
Yeah, but the problem, but like you said, the problem was how she said it, because what she did was she said it on people that buy her music.
Right. Now, here is where she lost all credibility for me.
The book.
The book. Oh boy. Came out that large portions of the book were plagiarized.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, I own my content. I take full responsibility. But I didn't write it.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
So you mean to tell me not only this was like the biggest under the bus throws I've ever seen in that world, like in the first of all, I didn't even know. Well, I mean, I kind of knew this. I didn't know that you could hire someone to write your book and then just put your name on it and say it's yours. I didn't know that you could do that.
Ghost writing.
Well, I thought, okay, so here was my thought. I thought that, like, when you hired a writer, they were literally just touching up your book. Like, it was dictation or, like, something to that effect. No, these people literally actually fucking sat down and wrote that book, and she paid them whatever she paid them, and then she put her name on it. So that's strike number one. Number two, she said she takes ownership. However, she didn't write it. She didn't write the goddamn book.
No, she didn't write it.
And she said that publicly. That's strike number two for me. You don't say you're sticking up for your team and then you throw them under the bus in the same comment. That's fucked up. Number three. Let's say, for argument's sake, to play devil's advocate for just a second. Okay, you hired a ghostwriter. They're a team. You're not writing the book yourself. All those sins absolved. If you are putting your name on a book that is potentially going to make you millions of dollars. You didn't think to proofread the bitch?
She didn't read none of it.
She didn't read none of it. She didn't even know it was in there. She didn't even know it was in there. I was like, what?
But now she can reap all the benefits of her
someone
comments.
else's works and someone else's comments because it's publicity, and no publicity is bad publicity.
And she can get all the energy that she had from her.
It's just why are you winning? This is terrible. What's happening?
I just fell.
Why did you fall? Why did you get up so you could fall?
I had to move something.
Okay.
I had to move something, man.
Anyway, man, it's about that time. We've been at this for an hour. But once again, guys, thanks for joining us. This will be the second episode. Actually, no, sorry. This will be the third episode of The Heck You Want. Once again, I am one half of your hosting squad here, TB on the sax. That is
Willie D. Genius.
my man. He got it this time, folks. Let's give him a round of applause.
I'm on it.
All right, guys. Peace, love, happiness, joy, all that other bullshit. Y'all have a great day.
All right.
Time heals all, but you out of time now. Judge gotta watch us from the clock tower. Little tear gas cleared the whole place out. I'll be back with the hazmat for the next round. We was trying to protest and the fires broke out. Look out for the secret agents, they be planning in the